Okay, so I've just watched the Thunderf00t video. What a lot of shit he's talking. Look, I'm more than happy to defend the guy, such as over the Nazi thing last week where he needs defending, but he's talking a load of shit here. Somebody said the other day about, does Thunderf00t ever apologise when he gets it wrong? And they said to me, well, give me an example of where he's wrong. Well, I'd be interested to see what happens here. So he's made this video about rape legislation in the UK and this claim that the legislation has been changed so that rather than being innocent until proven guilty, you're now guilty until proven innocent. I don't know where this is suddenly coming from all of a sudden. I heard this last night on Thunderf00t's live stream when he was talking to Kate Brooks. I contacted Thunderf00t through Facebook. He got back in touch with me and said, yeah, okay, fucked up on that. He left a comment on his live stream to people to say, yeah, I kind of got that wrong. What Thunderf00t is talking about is that some change in guidance that took place for the Crown Prosecution Service and for the police. It is guidance. The legislation still hasn't changed. The guidance is now that the police will be asking a few more questions as to whether the alleged perpetrator tried to get consent, and the Crown Prosecution Service will be perhaps pushing through a few more cases that are a little bit more marginal than they were before. But the legislation has still stayed exactly the fucking same as it ever was. What the fuck is he talking about? The legislation is exactly the same and you are still innocent until proven guilty. If you're not aware of what the legislation is in the UK, I've got two videos, I'll link them below, where I detail what that legislation is. But this is how it works. If you have consent, right, then it is not rape. If you do not have consent, then it still might not be rape if you had a belief that you had consent, and also if that belief is a reasonable belief. Right now, those things need to be proven beyond reasonable doubt not to have been true, that you didn't have consent and that you either didn't have a belief that you had consent or that the belief that you did have was unreasonable. In other words, given the circumstances, a reasonable person wouldn't have had the belief that you claim to have had. That was the situation before this year. It's the same fucking situation now. Now, while this is important, because I know there'll be a load of knee-jerk fuckers who, like Thunderf00t, will just go, oh, you wanker, you're criticising him, right? Why this is important is that you can't have it both ways. You can't criticise something like the UVA rape case, which was reported in Rolling Stone, and what happened when that turned out to be a crock of shit, right? You get these social justice warrior types going, oh well, that one might have been a crock of shit, but the article's still valid because this is happening elsewhere. No. If you've got a fight, you need to pick the right example. Right now, if you've got this is the same thing here. Don't bother posting something on this comment feed and say something along the lines of, oh well, this might not be a change in legislation, but something else will be, right? If it's something else, then discuss something else. This is wrong. This is factually absolutely in error. There is no change in the legislation whatsoever in the UK. All this is change. It's getting the police to ask a few more questions, right, that they weren't asking, and it's saying to the Crown Prosecution Service, if there is some debate in these areas, it might be worth your while pursuing the case through the court and see what a jury decides. Put it in front of a jury, whereas previously they weren't doing so. There is nothing, this bullshit about this is now guilty until proven innocent. That's absolute hogwash. I'll be interested to see if Thunderf00t retracts this or if he just leaves it to stand for the next 5 fucking years. Okay, bye.